Today, on Be Something Wonderful, the mind-blowing truth about creating your own reality. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Big video for you today. I want to start with a comment that was on yesterday's video. The video that we talked about the missing piece to creating and manifesting anything you desire. And we talked about the idea of everybody is you pushed out and really went to what that really means. We unpacked the idea of what it means that everyone is you pushed out, meaning you are you and other infinite points of consciousness are other infinite points of consciousness. Others are others. But your experience of them as consciousness, as that one consciousness, depends on your identity, depends on your assumptions, depends on who and what you are assuming in who you are and what you're assuming about reality. Do you see it? The versions of that you see of the people, events, and circumstances depend on you. It doesn't mean you are them and they are you. It means you see a certain experience of them as consciousness. This is powerful, and there's a link to that video below, so I won't go into too much into everyone is you pushed out again, but we're going to talk about it from a different perspective today, because there was a comment on yesterday's video. I want to start there, and it segues beautifully into today's lesson or today's video. This person said this: so my old self had a tendency about worrying and being paranoid. Since everything and everyone is based on your awareness of it, why then, when I go into a situation that I was totally worried about, instead of being it being horrific like I imagined it, it's actually peaceful and calm. The assumption I had was that going into it that it was going to be bad, but it ended up not being bad. Well, think about this. You said it here. That was your old self. You're no longer that identity or person that was assuming that situation was going to be horrific. You're a new identity in this moment, because who you are now, who you are and who you're being, in other words, how you see yourself in reality, changes in every moment. And in this moment, as you saw that as you saw that situation as being peaceful and calm, that's what it was, because that's who you are. Remember, there is no past. That when you say that I had a tendency about worrying about it, and I was worried about it. Well, there is no past where you were worried about it. You're creating all of that in this present moment from your present identity. So from this present identity, you're saying, yeah, there might have been someone that was worried about it. But in this identity, who I am now, it's peaceful and calm. Do you see the power here? So that assumption that it was going to be bad, it no longer belongs to this identity now. That's your old identity. You're no longer that person anymore in this moment. So it's not that some fixed situation ended up not being bad. It's that you're no longer that identity where that possibility exists. Right? That reality and possibility exists. That identity of you exists, but it's no longer who you are. Therefore, it's no longer your reality. Do you see? Who you're being now changes everything, past, present, and future. You create a new horizontal linear past that makes more space-time sense to who you're being now, to your identity now. You create a new present experience, linear horizontal present experience, a new horizontal linear future experience based on your identity now. Everything is, the idea of everyone is pushed out, everything's pushed out or experienced from who and what you're conscious of being in this moment. There is no past where something happened. You're either creating that idea now, it exists here and now, or it doesn't exist at all. And you're saying, yeah, that's a possibility, but it's no longer who I am. So it doesn't matter what you believe you imagined, right? You're creating that idea that there was someone that imagined that, but it's not who I am now. You even say it here. So this is powerful. I want to get to this idea. Remember, we talked about the levels of creation, and that's relevant here, and it relates to yesterday's video, the missing piece. The whole idea of everybody is you pushed out. And we went further with the idea of everybody is you pushed out yesterday and said that everybody is God pushed out. And you were made in the image of God. So you create a reality, people, events, and circumstances that are you pushed out because you were made in God's image. It's not that you are others and others are you, but you create your version of events of others based on who you're being. Everyone is that individualized, personalized, core essence or point of consciousness. But in your world, in your reality, you create that version, those versions of them. This is powerful. So we start with the Father, a source or first cause, right? The Lord or the law, right? In the Old Testament, it talks about the Lord, but it's talking about the law. It's talking about the absolute isness of reality, absolute existence, self-existent reality, that there's no other source, that it is source, only that it is cause. There's no cause, nothing caused this, it just is. That's what, when Moses asked God, who shall I sent me? And God said, tell them that I am sent you. In other words, the great I am, the great isness of reality, the great existence sent you. That's God. That's what we think of God. That's level 7. That's the great I am, or the great isness of reality. I exist as absolute existence itself. That's what God was saying to Moses. The word am, remember, originates, and this is really outlined in the Arcane Teachings by William Walker Atkinson, if you want to read that. It's powerful. It's a powerful book. The word am originates from the Sanskrit asmi, meaning absolute existence, and is from the word esti, which comes from the Sanskrit asti, both meaning existence. So it's all existence. Am is, or is am. Meaning it is. It's the great, that's what God was saying there, that great I am. Not talking about the beingness, but the isness. Beingness, you could think of as the Son of God. We're going to cover that today, the beingness. But the isness of existence, right? You could check that out, right? I don't want to get too much into the vernacular of it and the origin of these words. But know that I am, in this sense, when God says that to Moses, God's talking about the absolute itself. God's talking about itself as the absolute, the law, the Lord of Scripture. That's why in the Old Testament, on Isaiah 45:5, it says, I am the Lord, the law, and there is no other. There's no other God but me. There's no other existence. There's no other self-existence and reality other than me, other than the Father, the one source, referred to as the Father in Scripture. Right? Where Jesus talks about praying to the Father who is in heaven. That's the Father. That's the great source. I am the Lord, or the law, or the absolute existence, or the great isness of reality. I'm the great I am. I am the absolute, one and only source. And there's no other but me. There's nothing outside of me. Right? There's nothing out there. There's no notness. There's just existence. Notness doesn't exist, right? Non-existence doesn't exist. That's level 7 that we talked about. And we're going to continue to unpack level 7 in each level today. But how do I know that? This is your question. How do I know that I am that great I am, that I'm one with that existence, right? That I am. Because you can imagine anything, including the death experience. I've talked about this. But you cannot imagine not existent or non-existence. You can't imagine not existent or non-existence. You can imagine nothing, right? A space of nothing, but you can't imagine notness. Do you see the difference? Nothing, this empty space that you call nothing is still something. But notness doesn't exist. Non-existence doesn't exist. I am not is impossible. That's why the arcane teachings say the law is. And outside of that, nothing, outside of that, it is not. In other words, there's nothing beyond, higher, or other than the law, or the Lord, or the absolute existence of reality, or that one God, that one self-existence, causeless source, or God, or reality. The Father, the Creator, the law. That's implying absolute freedom, limitlessness, because there's nothing outside of it to limit it. There's nothing outside of it to put it in bondage. That's you. That's your absolute source of who you are. That's level 7. That's powerful. And then level 6, we call the Son. Scripture refers to the Son of God. That's the awareness, to be aware. It's the beingness of reality. Do you see it? It's I am awareness, or it's beingness. It's all that is. Infinite consciousness now. Think of the Son of God as the birth of consciousness, the birth of awareness. Because remember, what is awareness and consciousness? Consciousness has to be consciousness, must be conscious of something. Awareness to be awareness must be aware of something. What's aware of? Itself. I am awareness. I am consciousness. Right? This is the next level, level 6. The first level is just isness, existence. It's not even awareness and consciousness. It just is. Do you see it? This is the birth of consciousness. This is the birth of awareness. That's what the Son of God represents. To be means to bring forth or to be born. That's the origin of the verb be. Right? To be means to bring forth or to be born. That's what the whole idea, to be born again. It means to be born of this awareness, of this consciousness. The one divine mind, or the real you, the higher self, your inner being, what you refer to. All of those names. And what does it represent? It represents the superimposed totality of all infinite, personalized, localized points of consciousness or awareness, or what we call finite minds, or the finite mind. So it includes you and everybody else. Right? This is I am. The Son of God is you, me, and everybody else as a point of consciousness, as a unique essence of that one consciousness, that one I am awareness, that great I am. Individualized, right? Your unique core essence, as I talked about yesterday, or vibration, is the real you, is the higher self. But it's one with all other higher selves that we call the Son of God. That is referred to as the Son of God. All higher selves are that one I am awareness, that one undivided awareness or consciousness, infinite in nature, that we call all that is. So all that is really the first manifestation of the isness of reality, of existence itself. You could call it the Big Bang, right? It's that. It creates all possibilities, all potential as that I am awareness. This is powerful today. That's why it makes sense, what seems to be paradoxical or contrary in Scripture, when Jesus says the Father is greater than I am, but I and the Father are one. It seems like a contradiction. Seems like a paradox, but now you know. The Father is the Lord or the law, the absolute source, existence itself. That self-existence reality that has no before or after, that just is, right, is greater than I am. In other words, greater than I am awareness, greater than the Son, the higher self, or even your unique, individualized, personalized, localized self. Greater than what you could ever be aware of. I am, but I am the Father of one. But you're not separate from the Father. You are born of the Father. You are the Father pushed out into this idea of one divine mind, one awareness, one consciousness. That's the idea. Everything and everyone is God. Existence, isness, the absolute, the law, the Father, Source, the great I am, pushed out as one infinite consciousness, one infinite awareness, one infinite divine mind, one infinite higher self, the Son, or I am awareness, or beingness, or all that isness. The infinite awareness born out of the great I am, or the great isness of reality. To be born again, the first Son, right? This is powerful, right? You could think of it as the first manifestation of that self-existing God, of that one reality. That is level 6. And then we talked about level 5, right? And everything and everyone is that one divine mind. Everything and everyone is that one divine mind. The Son, the higher self, that infinite I am awareness, pushed out as infinite personalized, individualized experiences of finite minds. Do you see it? So the Son of God's pushed out from that existence itself, and from the Son of God, from that one divine mind, from that one awareness, that one consciousness, that one infinite awareness, all that is pushed out the idea of these infinite personalized, individualized experiences that we call finite minds. You, me, and everybody else, our own personalized, localized experience as all that is, as localized centers of the divine mind of consciousness. Or in other words, we might call it your I am identity, the Son of Man, or personality. Your unique essence or vibration within the one divine mind of God. Absolutely unlimited, not bound by time or space or any limitation whatsoever. One with all power, all knowing, and all minds. That's you, right now. That's you, that core essence. That never changes, right? That's powerful. That's level 5. That personality or that identity is pushed out in the form of assumptions. What you assume and accept as true of you, I am, others in the world, which you consider as the truth of reality, like the idea of linear time, right? Or time and space, right? It's an assumption that it doesn't require proof or evidence. It's what you feel is the truth of your reality, what we call beliefs. What you believe is true of yourself. So true you don't question them anymore. You don't question the veracity of it. You believe that's you. So these assumptions are being pushed out from that identity, from that unique identity that you are. That's what we call level 4. The assumptions that determine how you experience yourself as reality, which determine the manifested conditions or experiences or thoughts and feelings, which are levels 3 and level 2. That's powerful. Those assumptions that are pushed out from that personality, that individualized idea or identity of you, determine how you experience yourself as reality, which then in turn determine the manifested conditions or experiences of thoughts, level 3, and feelings, level 2. And the horizontal pushed out linear experience of manifested people, events, and circumstances, or in other words, your physical manifested experience is pushed out from those other higher levels, from those levels of thoughts and feelings and assumptions and identity. You create this. It all unfolds and is pushed out from the vertical of who you are. Wow. And you create this horizontal linear experience. That's all the levels. But normally we work from level 1, trying to work our way up, trying to move furniture around, trying to change that solid physical reality, trying to feel better about it, trying to think better thoughts, levels 2 and 3. And then hoping that we can change our assumptions and our beliefs of who we are, which we believe then we can have a different personality or identity. But do you see, it's all backwards. Determine who you are as that pushed out experience of I am awareness, and that changes everything. We saw that in that from that subscriber's comment on the channel that I just went over. So it all folds from within you. Let's show it to you. So we just talked about this, but it's nice to have this visual of what we're talking about today. The Father, the Absolute, the great I am, the great isness of reality, what Scripture calls the law. I am that I am. I am that existence. I am that self-existent source that has no other source, that there's nothing else but me. Right? This source, this reality, I am that I am, the great I am. That's level 7. That's what we call God. Then you have level 6, the Son. That's the absolute in expression. It's the beingness of that isness. It's the potential to be, it's born out of the isness of reality, the beingness. It's the I am awareness. It's the one divine mind. The one divine mind is born. The Son of God is the one divine mind being born. It's all that is. That's level 6. It's that one higher self. That is one, that your higher self is one with. There's no separation. No separation. Voice phrases here. There's no separation. Then you have, and I put this in orange to highlight this because this is level 5. This is where the action is for you. Your I am identity. In other words, your unique personality as source, as an individualized center of all that is, of that one divine mind. Your personalized, focused experience of that one divine mind that you call your finite mind. Your higher self. There's the higher self. That's all higher selves, all infinite experiences or individualized personalities or core essence together. But then you have what you call your higher self, your unique, personalized, unique core essence or experience of that one divine mind or that one higher self. That's what creates it all. Then you have your level 4, your assumptions. Your assumptions and beliefs that you believe are true of who you are. Do you see right here? It creates, now we're starting to frame a reality around this identity. This identity is absolutely limitless, beyond time and space. But we start framing an identity around it. We start framing the physical experience. You see this? We start coalescing a physical experience around this by what you assume and accept as true of you and your world, which we call level 4. And then you do start creating that physical experience. It does coalesce around you as a physical experience, all in the vertical, all now. Not the future, but now. Those changing conditions, right? Then you have these manifested thoughts and feelings about yourself that you believe is yourself. And so you start creating that experience around it, all based on who you say you are. Who do you say the Son of Man? When Jesus asked his disciples, right? Who do people or the world or men say I, the Son of Man, am? The Son of Man, right here, the Son of God and the Son of Man. It all gets determined there. But who do you say I am? Then you have the manifested thoughts and feelings that feel like that feel solid to you, that feel like they're who you are. And then all of this gets pushed out into that physical manifested experience that seems so solid, that creates this idea from the vertical. You create this idea of that horizontal linear experience in space-time. All pushed out from the great isness is born I am, your I am awareness, the Son of God, the one divine mind. And then pushed out from that divine mind are infinite experiences or personalized experiences, a unique core essence of that one divine mind that we call our higher selves. And pushed out from those higher selves are your higher self that you call also your I am identity. And pushed out from that I am identity are assumptions and beliefs that you believe are true about yourself. And pushed out from those assumptions and beliefs that you believe are true about yourself are changing thoughts and feelings, level 2 and 3. And from all of that is this manifested physical experience, all pushed out from the vertical in the now moment, in the only moment there is of who you are. The one divine mind, the one thought of God, all pushed out. So everyone is God pushed out. That's what we mean about that. But depending on what level you're experiencing, it's You create an experience of it pushing out again and again. The one divine mind pushed out in the form of I am identities, pushed out in the form of assumptions, pushed out in the form of thoughts and feelings, pushed out in the form of physical coalesced manifested conditions. But you change it all by who you say you are in this moment. Pushed out into the apparent continuity and solidity of manifested linear horizontal experiences. That's powerful. So, it's level 5. Your I am identity, your self-concept as both the Son of Man, Son of God, the center of one divine mind, and the Son of Man, your individualized point of consciousness or your personalized higher self or your core essence that gives you the absolute and total dominion over how you experience reality in the pushed out manifested experiences of levels 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. I don't think we've ever said it this close. We have a playlist on this, and this will be included in it, but I think this is going to blow that playlist away on levels of reality creation. I don't think we've ever said it more clearly. That's why the mantras and affirmations and I am God and there is no other and I am that I am are so, so powerful. That's why our team is sorting through these emails, but we're hearing more of you creating things out of the blue, out of you, because it's not out of the blue, with simply these mantras, with simply these robotic affirmations. I am God and there is no other. I am the Lord. I am the law. I am source. I am that I am. That's what makes them so powerful. Now you know. That's the mind-blowing truth about creating your own reality. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on our videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/BeSomethingWonderful. For joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, TikTok at Be Something Wonderful, or really anywhere on social media you can find us at either at Be Something Wonderful or at Tom Kearin. And also for being part of our membership channel, our other channel that we do live streams on for the members each month. And we're actually doing those a few times a month now, or that's what it's turning into. And there's going to be more content coming on the membership channel just for the members. And there'll be another video coming out on that. Some of you members are new to the channel and looking at some of the content on there. And you said it's blowing you away. Well, great, because that content's beautiful. There's dozens more videos on that membership channel. So if you're a member, great. Thank you for being there. If you're not and you're interested, just check out the link below. Creators with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude. This is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, tomorrow. And don't forget, Sunday, we have our live stream on the membership channel, right? At 9 a.m. Pacific time. We're going to come to you live from these studios to answer your questions that you've been sending us to info@besomethingwonderful.com and to answer questions live on the chat. This is this Sunday, September 8th. Creators, until next time, see you soon.